Robert Ferguson, and I'm excited to be here. Sorry for the delay. We're getting started a little later than I wanted. We're talking seconds, so I was there. I was watching. I was right there. Now, for those of you who are learning about me for the first time, my name is Robert Ferguson. I am a clinical nutritionist and creator of the Diet-Free Life methodology. Now, today we're talking about something that isn't getting enough attention. Patients reporting anxiety, depression, mood changes, and cognitive shifts after starting GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic. Now, the FDA says there's no clear link, but patients are telling a different story. So what's really going on here? In this, or is it physiology? Is it a coincidence or something that we need to take very seriously? Let's break it down today. Let's look at the science. Let's look at the risks. And for those of you who are on the drugs, don't run. I want you to listen to the conversation that we're going to have and some of the things that I'm going to share with you in our time together. Okay? So we're going to get the ball started. Stay with me. If you need to grab some tea or something, get it, and then we're going to get into it. All righty? Let's do it.
No more counting calories, just living free. Robert Ferguson's got the plan you need. With diet-free life, it's the key. No more starving, getting rid of inflammation. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With DFL, teaching you food choices to see you through. DFL, we're teaching you to eat food right. Teaching you to pair food with each bite. Balancing our body's microbiome, feeling so right. With diet-free life, it helps futures lose pride.
All right, everybody. Again, thank you for being here. This conversation is going to be fun. It's going to be educational, but it's going to be real. Okay. Now, I wrote an article titled Ozempic Mental Decline. And the woman that you see there on the screen, that's Monique. I was actually on the Monique show twice. And it was right when this movie came out called Precious. And Monique treated me extremely well. So well that I got to come back. And then we were looking at coming back again. And unfortunately, the show came to an end. But Monique is someone who is very real. And I saw a post that came to me. And it was a post about her making comments about GLP-1 drugs. Now, I'm going to bring on a friend, and then I'm going to bring on another friend. And we're going to watch the video that she put out. Now, before we watch that video, okay, I want to play a short video so you get an idea that there is something going on in the brain. It's not affecting every person, but it's affecting a lot of people. And I believe that in our time together, I can help you realize what it means to have receptors in your brain that have a relationship with this drug called GLP-1. I'm going to explain it. But before we go there and before I bring on my first guest, watch this video.
Anxiety is through the freaking roof.
It's the latest side effect that's giving some patients pause.
I absolutely, for months now, have been feeling depressed.
They say popular diabetes drugs, which are also used for weight loss, such as Ozempic and Mounjaro, are leading to mood changes and depression in what's been dubbed Ozempic personality. Some users complain they don't feel like themselves, their joy dulled.
I used to be a really positive, bubbly, like sunshine person. And over the last year and a half, I've kind of lost that.
Since being prescribed Ozempic, Sydney Foster has lost 90 pounds. She says it's her mental health that's now weighing her down. Is this making you rethink your relationship with this drug that you're using for weight loss?
It has been. I know I don't want to have the same mindset forever. If it just means staying skinny, that's not what I want.
These injections include the ingredient semaglutide, which regulates hunger and makes you feel full. But experts say its effect on mood needs more research.
There has not been any link directly with the drug and any known personality disorder or any known psychiatric condition, but it would not be impossible to see a range of responses, including a change in personality.
After receiving 175 reports from Ozempic and Wegovy patients experiencing suicidal thoughts, an FDA study found no link between the drugs and suicide, though the administration added it could not rule out that a small risk may exist, and it's continuing to study the issue.
May exist. I don't know about you, but I don't want to take anything that has a may in it. Okay. Not me. Nope. Now, if I was a type 2 diabetic and it was helping my blood sugar because that's who it was designed for originally, okay, I get that, because I have clients that were on GLP-1s for that specific reason. And some of them we've helped transition off and some not. Everybody's unique and different. I get it. My concerns is the concern that the FDA is so quick to say that this is not a problem mentally when there's multiple psychiatrists. There's social media groups you can find on Facebook. I've looked at them where you have people sharing how they feel depression, how they are like stressed out. The anxiety is at all-time high. And I've looked at some of the data. It's there. And I understand how they can fudge the numbers and make it where people think that there's no concern with it. And right now we have about 13 to 20% of the adult population in the United States and Canada that are taking an SSRI, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, like something for depression. And all of those drugs were only tested for 12 weeks. But people are on these drugs for years. And there's a whole bunch of concerns about it, but not many people are talking about it. And when I say not many people, I'm talking about the media. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to bring up my dear friend, the one and only. Her name is Veronica, people. So let's bring Veronica to the stage. Hello, Veronica.
Hey, Robert, how are you?
I am good. So thank you for making time to join me and have this conversation. And I wanted you to see what everybody else is seeing. So far, what you've heard me say and that news clip that I shared, what are you thinking?
You know what I'm hearing is that these drugs reduce hunger, they slow digestion, and they also influence brain areas that control reward and motivation. But what some people notice is changes in how they experience cravings or even general pleasure. So my question would be, could appetite suppression affect the mood or motivation? Do the GLP-1 medications impact metabolism or brain signaling differently?
Well, okay, so you know how insulin works. We talk about it all the time, right?
Absolutely.
So for those of you who are new, I'm gonna talk about insulin just for a second, and then I'm gonna bring in and answer the question that you just asked.
Yeah.
So insulin is a hormone that is produced in our pancreas. And when we have a lot of sugar in our bloodstream, insulin is known for helping to get the sugar out of our blood and into our cells. Well, in order to do that, the cells have to have a receptor, like a door. And insulin is like a key. It's the hormone. So as a messenger, it goes out and it puts the key into the door and it unlocks it, opens the door, and sugar goes inside. And that's how it works. So the door is a receptor, and insulin plays a role in how energy gets inside. Did I do okay on that?
Yep. Absolutely.
All right. So now, if you think of hormones, which GLP-1 is a hormone,
Mhm.
it's a peptide hormone, and it has receptors. It has receptors in the gut, and it has receptors in our brain, in our hypothalamus, and our brain stem. So those are doors. And so whenever GLP-1 is circulating, it finds like a key, goes up to the brain, and it can like turn things on or turn things off, like our desire to eat. Dopamine levels go down, so you don't have that desire. That's why they're saying more and more that these drugs could help people with alcohol. It could, people who have a sex addictions. It can help remove desire in a big way. So you walk past your favorite meal and have no interest in eating it.
Mm.
So these receptors. Now, this is what's interesting, and we can get into it more. I always ask the question, how does GLP-1s naturally work? So when you eat food, GLP-1 in your gut, your intestinal tract, gets secreted. So it's like insulin. It wakes up. These little pebbles come out, or whatever we want to call them, the solution. And it lives, Veronica, for 1 to 2 minutes, and then it's gone. There's enzymes, DPP4, that naturally breaks down GLP-1 when it naturally comes out. So the brain, your hypothalamus and your brainstem, only gets exposed like a pulse.
Right.
And then it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. The drugs are engineered to fight off the enzyme that would break it down.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no longer a pulse, it sustains for days, hours and days. So the brain with those receptors have never experienced that. And that's the part of that's one of the conversations no one's talking about. I mean, that can't be good.
So how do we make sure that people are still getting what their body needs?
Well, they're not. And that's why people lose hair, people lose muscle, people are malnourished, they tell them to eat more protein. So you have this other problem, because when it's working, that means they're not eating.
Mm-hmm.
There's no desire. I mean, imagine a life where you take away, I mean, you're Italian, right?
Hey, yeah.
Hey. I mean, like, I can't imagine being Italian and you're taking away all the time that we have around food.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have any desire to eat it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. To me, that just the obvious is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, Italians live around food. You know? I mean, everything is, conversation, family, event, everything is around food. It's always been included, you know? I know in my family, it's always been food. I mean, events, holidays, just conversation. When people come to visit, they don't come through the door and sit in the living room. They come to the kitchen and we sit down at the table and we open a bottle of wine and we put a spread out. And, I'm not used to, if you taking GLP-1s that, you know what? Okay, I don't want that.
Well, so imagine, and we can get into it more, but imagine if something like that is taking place, you have receptors in your hypothalamus and you're in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Your brain stem is not used to having that sustained push of something that lowers your desires. So for the first time in human history, people are experiencing this, and we don't know what the long-term outcome is going to be.
Yeah, wow.
So imagine people you love and care about in 5 years, because we're going to know like really soon, God forbid, there's some type of cancer starts happening in the brain.
Right. Well, and rapid weight loss, it just it triggers, not natural body adaptations, that can influence, your mood and your energy and whatnot. So, I mean, I think understanding exactly what these GLP-1s do, I mean, there's not a lot of people that are looking into, okay, oh, I just want to lose weight, but not the after effects, which is really, really important.
Well, so one other thing, I'm gonna see if I can explain this to you, and then I'm gonna show a video, and we'll move it forward. But you notice how the FDA said there's no concern with depression, right? Okay, this is how they do it. Let's say you have 100 people, which they have thousands of people, right? When they do some of these trials and they start watching them. And what you do is you have a randomized placebo-controlled trial. So let's say after a whole year, out of 100 people, the placebo group who didn't get the GLP-1 drug, 10 of those people, they report back that they have some depression. Then you look at the people who took the GLP-1 drugs. What happens is you don't see that it's 20 or 30 people affected.
Right.
Because when you lose weight, and I'm sure you would agree with this, many people become less depressed. They look better, they feel better, their clothes better, they get in relationships, they socialize, like a whole bunch of positives. So that takes away what would definitely show up if you looked at people who are on the drug and didn't have those experiences where they became more social. So it looks like whether you're on the drug or not, out of 100 people on each side, the same amount of people have depression. So there's no concern. So they're not. And then I heard, like, through the psychiatrist that I was talking to recently, he used to work at the FDA, and he said that the average person, you're getting 1,000 phone calls a day, people reporting their problems with depression. And they don't do anything with it because who can call and talk and learn about family history to 1,000 people in a day?
Wow.
You can't. So until people start dying, until something horrible happens like that, the drug will stay on the market. And you can see that with Fen-Phen. You can go back and see that with so many drugs. And people are just jumping at it. And we already know dementia, right? Alzheimer's is on its way up. It's just amazing to me that people are willing to take that risk.
It's crazy that a lot of people just want that quick result. I can recall asking a woman who dropped weight real quick, and I said, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" I said, "You look amazing," and she did. She looked amazing. It was just that instant reaction. So, "Oh, I'm taking Wegovy," and I'm like, I never heard of it. And she was just like, yeah, but she was a diabetic. And I know, I mean, as opposed to someone who just wants to take this medication to lose weight, as opposed to diabetics who are put on this to help them lose weight and whatnot. I mean, what's the difference there?
Like, what do you mean?
When it was originally for people who were diabetic, correct?
Yeah.
And then you just have these individuals, oh, well, it's just a medication. It's a diet medication. I can lose weight. I mean, weren't they supposed to just keep this, for diabetics?
Well, I mean, originally, it actually started as a discovery from doing bariatric surgery.
Oh, okay.
When they tapped into the GLP-1s, actually, I'm very aware of a study that took place in 1964. I believe it was the Colorado Medical Group or department. I have the whole presentation. And how it started was they discovered this thing called the incretin effect. Incretin, a GLP-1 is an incretin. You don't hear that term, but that's That's its real name. It's a peptide. It's also a hormone, but it's also an incretin because it's produced in the gut.
Mhm.
And so what they notice is that they would take pure sugar, glucose, and inject it into a person's vein,
Mm.
and then they would watch and see how the sugar rise, and they then looked at the insulin response. And what they noticed is that whether you injected it in the vein or you consumed it, the sugar response was the exact same, Veronica.
Mhm.
So in my mind, I would think if I inject it directly in the blood, that means my sugar should be higher
Yeah.
compared to drinking the same amount through my mouth. It was the exact same, like no change. But then what woke everybody up is when they looked at the insulin response. You would think the insulin response would be really high
Mm.
if you inject it, right? What happened is when they injected sugar directly into the vein, the insulin was down here at like a 10. When they consumed the same amount of sugar in the mouth, the insulin was like a 90.
Wow.
That gap is called the incretin effect.
Gotcha.
So the gut is a very powerful thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's intriguing. So what's taking place in the gut and what scientists and these pharmaceutical companies are playing with, we don't know. So when it comes to a diabetic, I would say that's one of their, because I have some clients right now who they need insulin every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the deal. That's just where they're going to be. And we get okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
I would personally rather inject insulin
Mm-hmm.
than be on Ozempic. Me.
I have no desire to be on any type of
I'm just saying.
GLP-1s. But how do you differentiate between nutrition and related medication, related changes?
Well, I mean, so what happens is that the pancreas is not able to keep up and produce enough insulin, so you end up having to inject it. I personally would rather do that than be on Ozempic, Wegovy, Zepbound, any of them. Okay. Now, I want to show you something. There's two things, and then we're going to bring on our special guest today, our extra special guest. So I had written this article. It's a great read, by the way.
Yeah.
And I think I did a good job at connecting it. And I open up with a quote, which I'm not going to mention the quote because we're going to watch a video with Monique talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, there's a guy who named Jelly Roll, this real popular guy.
Yep.
Jelly Roll's wife decided to give Ozempic a shot.
Ooh, okay.
Now, in Hollywood, a lot of people are on Ozempic. Like, I mean, it is just the thing to do. I've shared story. I've had clients that I'm coaching with nutrition, and they're doing great, but they get on Ozempic because everybody's doing it. And follow the leader. And I can tell you that I've been on the phone late at night, Veronica, with these same people crying, like in pain.
Wow.
Discomfort like crazy. And they're like, I'm never going to do it again. I can't believe I did it. I mean, they're going through all of that. And then 2 weeks later, I had one of them got back on it again. This is like an eating disorder. This is, to me, it's the exact same.
Yep.
Now, here's Jelly Roll's wife, and she talks about what we're actually talking about. Okay, so take a look, and I want your reaction.
A bout of suicidal ideation from using a GLP-1, which I really think people need to talk more about this.
So she got on it, started having suicidal thoughts, and was like, I'm out of this.
I heard of that. I did. I heard a lot of people are having suicidal thoughts and mood changes and depression. And, you know, I believe, I mean, it's just real experiences. But, you know, they describe what happens, but it's crazy that all of a sudden they're having these suicidal thoughts. It's just like, oh my God, is it okay? Craziness. I'm just trying to think as far as suicidal thoughts that, they try, are they tracking their mood changes while on these GLP-1 medications? Do they have severe depression? I would have to contact my healthcare provider right away, and then they throw them on another medication. That's crazy.
Well, like on you guys' show, if you talk about GLP-1, what I would like to bring up is women who are perimenopause or postmenopausal, and they're on a GLP-1 drug. And I would like to talk about this one part where if you lose your desire to eat your favorite meal, I'm willing to bet if women would be open to sharing that they've lost their desire to be intimate with their spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever.
I don't want that to happen. Oh, honey.
But think about, that is crazy.
It is.
If you lose your desire, you lose your desire. Your hypothalamus can't tell you the difference between that favorite meal or your desire to have a drink or your desire to be intimate. Right. You start to lose all those desires. No one said, I'm on GLP-1, man, we're having sex 5 days a week. That ain't happening.
That used to happen. 10 times a day, 5 days a week. Right, you're turning red. I think you had a lot of sun today, but I did have a lot of sun.
So I want to play this. This is a 2-minute video with Monique. She goes on a rant, and I don't know how much you know about Monique. Do you know about her at all? You follow her?
You know what? Just a little bit. Okay. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. I do know who she is.
She's very outspoken. Mm-hmm. She loves everybody, but when she's talking, she talks like she's a grandma. Like she always refers to like my babies, you're my babies, you guys are my babies. And in this video, she's talking primarily to Black folks. Okay. So that's her primary audience.
Gotcha.
And she's speaking directly to them. So set it up. And then in the green room, we have Renee. So Renee, I want you to watch it also. And I'm going to bring all of us on. And I want you guys to give me your thoughts on what she's going to share. The last thing is, if you don't know Monique, for years, she was extremely heavy. She was, and her whole comedy was putting down skinny, itches, if you know what I'm saying. Like she made it funny, and she loved being voluptuous. And then she got married, she fell in love, and in those conversations, she's been public about this. She decided, I'm gonna change. I want to be around for my kids. I want to do my life better. And she lost a lot of weight. And it's funny because after meeting her, many people thought it was me, and I wish it was me that helped her. But I still see myself one day working with Monique because she's real. Okay, so let's listen to Monique break it down. And she's talking about GLP-1s, everybody. And she's saying how a lot of people are jumping on them. And just so you know, she's no fan of Oprah Winfrey at all. All right, just so you know. Here we go.
I wanted to come on here really, really quick to just tell y'all this. Because right now, babies, they are pushing so much to us in reference to, if you take this shot, you could lose 30 pounds. If you take this pill, you could lose this. But what is the long-term effects? What will it do to your body, your mind? What will it do to us 5 years from now, 10 years from now? And yes, you may look like $1 million on the outside, and you may get down to that size 2 or that size 4 or that size 8 or whatever that thing is. But I would ask you to research what you're putting in your body. Research what you're putting in your body. They got us caught up in trends. And well, if this big star did it and this big celebrity did it, well, I'm definitely going to do it. This is what I will say, and this is just my humble opinion. They're taking away our willpower. They're taking away our fight. They're taking away our ability to say, I believe in myself. I'm going to trust the process. Because if you can just put the shit in a microwave, if you can put it in a microwave, and what happens when you put it in a microwave? It loses all nutritional value.
Okay, I'm going to pause there just for a second. Now, below, I provided a link to an article I wrote about the truth about microwaves. Now, I don't want to I'm not throwing Monique under the bus, but what she just said is not true as it pertains to microwaves. And most people have a misunderstanding of microwaves. And that's why I have an article with references, backed up, substantiated. But I get her point. Her point is, we get her point. Okay, so I'm gonna let it finish, but I made sure I made that article available because I wanted people to learn that the microwave is not as bad as people think. I have a microwave. I encourage people to get a microwave. The microwave actually, like compared to when you cook foods, like boiling foods, sometimes stir frying foods, those things leach and kill and remove most of the nutrients compared to a microwave. But people will blame a microwave as being the thing that kills nutrients. And a lot of that goes back to one popular study. There was an article written about it with broccoli. I'm not going to get into it. I think I mentioned it in the article. But read the article. If you want the truth about microwaves, read the article. The same as we're sharing with you guys the truth about GLP-1 drugs. But with Monique and what we're talking about right now is that something in her compelled her to share this bothering her. And she's seeing a lot of people jumping on the bandwagon. And so she decided, hey, I'm going to share my opinion. And that's what she's doing. So I'm going to let her finish. And then I'm going to we're going to bring up Renee and we're going to bring up Veronica and continue this conversation.
So, I love us for real, y'all. I love my people for real. I don't love y'all just because the words sound good. And I know some of y'all have not always agreed with me. And even the ones that don't agree with me, I love us. And I'm asking y'all to love yourself enough not to be tricked. Not to be tricked. Ooh, that thing had me today. Ooh. Because we're so easily tricked. Especially us. They could sell us shit on toilet paper, and if the right person's selling it, we'll say that's some good shit on that toilet paper. So please don't get caught up in the names, the fame, the money, the quote-unquote power.
Hey, by the way, you guys, that was pretty funny. That was actually really funny. I mean, Monique, you are good, girl. But I feel you. I feel your pain, man. I feel it's a concern. And what we're talking about is many people aren't talking about. But there's some psychiatrists that are talking about it. But this is real. Okay, here we go.
And I'm not judging nobody's decision because it is yours. However, I'm talking to the babies out there that is questioning things. Love you enough to trust your process. Love you enough to shut your damn mouth. Love you enough that after you had that one piece, you don't need another. And I'm going to tell y'all something. The white boy some banana pudding in here yesterday, baby. And I looked at him and said, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? But it wasn't for me. Okay, so that's why he did it. And I had to walk away from it. Now, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I took a little taste, a half of a teaspoon. Because I had to get that thing off on me. But I believe in Monique. And I'm gonna honor my prayers. And my prayers was give me a second chance at motherhood, at being a wife, with my family, and I was granted that. So you think I'm gonna mess it up? So I'm just talking to my babies that want to hear it. For the ones that don't, get out of here. I don't have no gossip for you. I don't have nobody else's business for you. That ain't what I do. But I'm telling y'all about my business.
Wow. That was deep, man. That was deep. And I get it. I mean, I've lived long enough that I love my kids, man. I really do. And I pray that I can be around long enough to see them have security, get married, be happy. That's my biggest goal. Now, if I can one day maybe get married, who knows? But it ain't about me. I really want to see them do well and be in a good place. And I just couldn't imagine taking a product and then later on it becomes something that brings me to a demise. I'm not into those kind of risks personally. So that being said, let's bring up Veronica and Renee, everybody. And for those who are meeting Renee for the first time, and I didn't do a proper introduction to Veronica, they have a show called Pal Her Hour.
Yes.
And so I'm going to make the link available. You guys should check them out. They have really good shows, and they let me come on and be a guest every once in a while, and they're both being a guest with me.
I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
So let's start with you, Veronica, and then I want to go to Renee. Okay, you just heard Monique kind of give her opinion. Doesn't mean you have to agree, but what's your thoughts after hearing her vent for a couple minutes?
You know what? Amen to her, because I tell you what, I mean, for me, family is everything. I love where I am in my life right at this moment. I am not on GLP-1s, never took them. I have no desire to take them. And just moving forward, I want to be around for my family. I want to stay healthy. I want to do everything that I can to be healthy. And I mean, I love what I'm doing with you and Renee and, the diet-free life methodology and following all those programs, and especially our omega-3 oil. I mean, I just love that all together. And I mean, I think it's great, the fact that, she just puts family and life first. I believe and I understand everything that she says. I mean, my family is my world. I love my children, my grandchildren. I mean, they're my everything. And I want to be here for them.
Nice. All right. Well, Renee, what's your thoughts on Monique's her moment?
I like when people are honest and upfront and very transparent. And I found that in what she was talking about. But the whole thing with the GLP-1 and what's going on with the depression and all the side effects and all that stuff that's going on. 2 years ago, the doctor put me on Ozempic and I did it for 4 weeks, and it was horrible. It was horrible. I wasn't depressed at all, but it slowed down my system where I wasn't eliminating every day. I was eliminating only once a week, which to me, that's a danger sign right there. That's crazy. And I really didn't notice a difference in my appetite, but I was still already eating healthy at that point. So it was, she thought it would be something that would benefit me to be able to lose more weight. I didn't see any benefit at all after 4 weeks, so that was it for me. And now to hear all this coming out about the GLP-1 drugs, and then of course learning from what you've been teaching on what the GLP does naturally in your body when we're eating the right foods, it's a whole different concept. So again, when I go back to thinking about all this, it goes back to when I met you in July on a live, Robert, and you talked
Mhm.
about cell membrane fluidity. And as far as I'm concerned, it all revolves around cell membrane fluidity to get our act together and get things going properly in our bodies. And but I can certainly see where depression has set in a lot of people that I know that are taking the GLP-1s, and now they're getting on the depression medications, and I find that to be so sad. I really
Really?
do.
So you know someone who was on GLP-1 and now they're on the depression medication?
Yes, I do.
Wow.
I do, and it's very sad, and they can't figure out why they're so depressed.
Wow. Guys, like this is like so crazy.
Yeah.
It really is.
I want to show you something. This guy's name is Dr. Joseph. So I just want to do a quick intro, and I'll tell you, because what you are seeing, Renee, what you just shared is powerful. Okay, so this is a very short video. It's Dr. Joseph, who's a psychiatrist who worked for the FDA and was paying. He was making over $700,000 a year, and he quit. He quit. Okay, and he quit partly because of what we're talking about right now.
I'm a board-certified psychiatrist, an expert in psychiatric drug side effects. So over the last couple of years in my practice, I've noticed many individuals describing severe mood changes after starting these medications. And I'm talking about worsening anxiety and depression, usually appearing within a couple of weeks of starting these drugs. And it's not just me noticing this. For instance, check out this report of celebrity Anna Sorokin, who was the German con artist who was featured in the Netflix show Inventing Anna. She talks openly about how she stopped taking Ozempic because it made her depressed. But it's not just her. Patients all over the country are reporting similar effects. So much so that it's developed a cute name, Ozempic personality.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, very scary.
Wow. Like you see, I've seen it, but on a small level.
Yeah.
And so what he ends up doing and is he goes into it, he says it's happening big time. And what happens is, just take the average person. They go to the doctor. They've been on GLP-1s. The doctor goes, you know, you seem a little down. Why don't we get you to go over to meet with a psychiatrist? And the person says, you think it could be this GLP-1 drug? And the doctor goes, no, because the FDA said it's not. Right? Because that's what the doctor does. So now they go over to the psychiatrist. And they say, you know what? Let's put you on a small amount. That's what they always say. Let's put you on a low dosage SSRI. So now you're going to have more people on that. So the GLP-1s are going to feed many other industries.
Right.
And that's what's happening. Gastroenterologists, challenges with like regularity. You know, now I got some mental things I got to handle, and they never blame it on GLP-1s.
It's very sad. It really is, because, you know, more facts that are revolving from what people are telling us. People need to know the facts. They need to know that these things can cause so many other challenges in your life. And I don't know. I'd rather wear the extra pounds, eat healthy and be healthy, than be a skinny mini depressed and want to kill myself. That makes no sense to me. I mean,
amen.
It just doesn't, you know, where does quality of life come into work here? You know, let's talk about quality of life. You know, the choices we make. And like you said, if you lose the desire to actually, and I'm going to talk about this because we just had our talk about sex show last week. You lose your desire, your libido is going to definitely be affected in the desire area, because when you don't desire to eat your favorite foods, I guarantee you're not desiring hopping in the sack with your partner. So, yeah.
I would love, why don't you guys see if you can find someone who's willing to come on that says that I take GLP-1 drugs and my sex life is great. And then it'd be great to find
let's see if we
someone.
can find that challenge. Yeah.
I'm telling you, I have a friend of mine who's on a GLP-1 and her sex life has ceased to exist.
Well,
Nothing.
That I believe.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So you have that experience also. You've seen that also.
But it wasn't suicidal. She told, it's the best thing since sliced bread, but she doesn't have a sex life. You know, she's not doing anything.
Mentally, she's not depressed, but on the other hand, she's lost her libido and her joy to be intimate with her partner.
I don't want to lose my libido.
This is crazy. Now, see, this is what somebody that if you guys put a show together like that, please let me come on and be a guest.
Oh, absolutely.
We're doing gut health on Monday. Maybe we should switch this and do libido and GLP-1s.
I mean, I think we may get a whole.
Definitely cover that in the near future, Robert, for sure.
Definitely.
I mean, that would
do
definitely
that next week.
Yeah,
and the fact that you guys actually know people. So multiply that, right? You have 350 million people in the United States.
Yeah.
You have. They said it's a lot of people. Like let's say 10 million plus are taking GLP-1 drugs.
That's crazy.
Why aren't the men? I think I'm gonna go look around and see if men are complaining because most of the people on the drugs are women.
Most, yes.
Yeah.
So it's making me wonder if there's going to be more divorces, more breakups, more affairs.
Right.
I'm telling you, it's going to drive a whole additional businesses are going to boom.
Yep.
I mean, that is crazy. Would your friend Veronica be willing to come on the show?
Oh, I'm sure she would.
She would and talk about that she doesn't have a libido.
You know what? I'm going to text her when we get done this this podcast here. I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
What about you, Renee? Would your friend?
Yeah, I'll text her and ask her if she'll come on. Hers is about the depression thing. I'm not sure. We haven't discussed her libido lately. So, but I know she's extremely depressed. So I know we can at least cover that part of it with the GLP-1s. So
now, does she know that there's a connection between GLP-1s and depression?
No, not whatsoever.
Okay. So you're hearing us talk about this for the first time.
Yeah.
And is it something that I can send you videos of Dr. Joseph. Sorry. I mean, he's great at explaining it. And he talks about how he left his job and he talks about exactly what the FDA, how they are wrong. And he uses those words. He says they are wrong. And he's a PhD and he was working there and he quit because he didn't like the ethics and what they were doing.
I love it. That's great. Yeah, we need to get the information out there. More people need to know what's going on. You know, the only way we can really protect the people around us is to give them accurate knowledge. And with so much baloney floating around, BS floating around out there, they don't have the accurate knowledge to make a good choice or a good decision. So, you know, I really feel like we provide a service when we talk about these things and get people to listen in and maybe realize that there's other things going on that they don't really know what's going on. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, so when I'm going back to the part where I talked about there's receptors. So you have these receptors on your brain, and GLP-1, when it naturally comes out, because it is natural, it only is available for about 2 minutes. It has a very short, what they call half-life.
Right.
Very short. So the receptors, wherever they are, like in the brain, they get a little bit of touch and then it's over.
Right.
The drugs don't get turned off. So those receptors are constantly experiencing that signaling. And I think for some people, you're going to see depression. For some people, you're going to see no sex, no interest in sex, no interest in alcohol. Like you're just going to see, and we're willing to just test people with this.
Yeah, it's very scary, really, if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm blown away, and that's why I look at someone like Monique, she has no clue about what we're talking about. We're all in the health business, right? She's
Right.
a customer of the health business,
Right.
but something moves her to say, I gotta, like, something's not right. Quit listening to people. We're being tricked. This is not good.
Well, I like her honesty. You know, she's coming from a place where she feels like, you know, she can be honest and transparent, and I like that.
Well, she got a lot of backlash from that
I'm
video.
sure she did. I'm sure she did.
Yeah, because they are. I mean, when you look at it, like even in my article I wrote, okay, you have Oprah Winfrey, the richest black woman. I don't know if she's the richest woman. I don't think the richest woman, but definitely probably the richest black woman living. And she had a lot of influence at one point. And so she's been doing infomercials on promoting GLP-1 drugs.
Right.
Whoopi Goldberg has been around for a long time. She's on a TV show called The View.
Yeah.
And she pushes and endorses GLP-1 drugs. Then you have Serena Williams, who's
Same
been,
thing. She's doing the ads. Yeah.
and her husband is a owner. Well, her and her husband are owner of the company that she endorses for GLP-1 drugs.
Mm.
So here's my point. You have 3 black women that are influencing more black women
Yeah.
to get on the GLP-1 drugs. And that's what Monique was speaking to.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine, as an Italian woman, take 3 of the top Italian actors, actresses, and they come on and they almost demonize pasta and some of the cultural lifestyle relationships you have with food as an Italian.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine, like, what would be the feedback? I mean, I have an idea of this, but I want to hear from an Italian. But how would Italians react if you had some of your popular celebrity Italians come out telling everybody to get on these drugs? Come on.
Like sacrilegious, you know? Like, oh my God. It's just like, no way. The wine, the pasta, the bread. We just did a pasta making weekend. And I'll tell you what, it brought family together. It reminded me of when I was a little girl watching the old grandmas making the pasta, the flour flying everywhere. And it was just like, to even think about a GLP-1,
Yeah.
like, it's absolutely insane.
All right,
It's
name 3 very famous Italian actresses, singers, like women.
Oh my God. I know. I'm thinking of men too. I mean, yeah.
Okay, throw in some men.
I like Andrea Bocelli. I mean, I just watched that movie, Solo Mio. I mean, Andrea Bocelli, Sophia Loren, and
Sophia Loren.
But he's
All right.
deceased
Okay,
now.
so all right, so how would you feel if Sophia Loren and some popular Italian artists, celebrities, were on TV constantly saying, everybody get the GLP-1?
I couldn't even see them talking about it. Because, I mean, if you look at Sophia Loren, I think she was also, she was a beauty. She was built. She was a beauty. They said she was like one of the most beautiful women. I could see that there was other beautiful women out there.
Right.
But I could never imagine them on a GLP-1. I just couldn't imagine it.
I mean, but if you saw it,
I'm at a loss.
All right, so some of my Italian friends, this is what I think that they would say. I would call them. I say, hey, Jim, like one of my buddies, Jim. Hey, Jim. Hey, man, Jimmy. Did you see the ad with Sophia, man? She said GLP-1s. His response would be, man, forget about it.
Oh, what do you mean? Hey.
Nah, we're not doing that in our house. That's not happening.
No.
Not in our house.
Oh my God.
I couldn't. I mean, I think that would just be. I'm with you. I can't even see it.
Yeah.
Now, what's your ethnic makeup, Renee?
It was supposed to be French and German, but when I ran one of those tests, It said English and Scandinavian, which never came up in my whole life. So
Okay.
so I'm a mutt. I'm one of those mixed breeds that, wherever I came from, they've been lying to me my whole life or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, and I can see you if you're with an Italian family, everybody would just assume you're Italian.
Yeah, I fit right in.
Yeah, you.
I know when she's here at
Absolutely.
my house, she'll just eat everything Italian.
Yeah, we just do whatever. Yeah, it's cool.
I get it.
So,
And if you came to my mom's house, we'll give you an afro wig and you'll just fit right in.
I fit right in there too, right? And I'm very adaptable, I feel like. So
No, you are, because you're very fun, kind. Both of you guys are just really warm human beings, and it's been nothing but a blessing to get to know you and have a friendship and a partnership.
yeah.
But you know what? When you go into an Italian family's home, it's just like, welcome you in, sit down and mangia. I mean, they fill the table with everything. If there isn't anything there, they'll bring it out. They'll fill the table with wine and everything Italian, from pasta to meats to cheeses, everything. I mean, when I have everybody here, we have the charcuterie board, the pasta, the gabardine, the lasagna, the raviolis, and all these amazing sauces, gorgonzola cheese sauce, and a pasta sauce, with prosciutto, and everything. It's just like, come in. It's like we live around the kitchen table, and we just eat till our heart's desire. I mean, it wasn't only a Sunday night dinner. It's just like, if you came into my home, that's how I'd be in the kitchen,
Right.
making food and filling the kitchen table up everywhere. Renee could tell you, when you come to my home, there's everything in my whole entire kitchen.
Absolutely.
All right,
Absolutely. She's raring to go.
so would it be accurate to say that the average dad, Italian dad, saw his daughter walk in the house? Oh, Dad, I got some GLP-1. He goes, get that.
Boom, boom, what are you talking
That's not welcome here. That's not welcome here. Right. For sure.
I'm a vegetarian. Fine, we'll make lamb.
That is so true.
Big fat Italian wedding.
Oh, man.
And, it's just like when you go to an Italian wedding, you gotta have the dessert table. I mean, I spent extra money for my son's wedding. I'm doing the dessert table and had everything Italian there, from Italian almonds to cookies to cakes, everything.
Everything. It was amazing.
And there was umpteen amount of food, overabundance. I'm from a big Italian family. I'm the baby of 9. Oh, there's 11 in my family. My mother's from 15. My grandfather was from 18. So I was always brought up with, making an abundance of food. When I make a pot of gravy, which you would call sauce, it's a huge pot. It's not this little saucepan. It's a huge pot of meatball sausage gravy. That's what I call it. I call red gravy, as you would call sauce. But and I'd have it forever, freeze it, bring it out, spaghetti, ravioli, lasagna, everything. So come on to my house and eat.
All right, so would it be accurate to say that no one in your family at this moment are on a GLP-1 drug?
None of us. I can guarantee that. I have them all on the DFL methodology.
All right. Now, Donna is your sister, right?
Cousin.
Oh, your cousin. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
First cousin.
All right. So as we wrap this up, you guys, and thank you you guys are great, by the way. With the GLP, I mean, you've experienced it, Renee. Any final words that you can share?
Yeah, just, think about what's happening to your body when people say, "Oh, I'm doing real well on this because I'm not hungry." What does that really mean? Does that, like you said, does that reduce desire? Does that mean you give up wanting the things that you really would like to eat? Whereas we know you can eat anything if you eat it in the right combination without having to be on a GLP-1. So, but my biggest concern is all this that we've been hearing about the depression and the side effects and everything else that's going on. I would just say, don't do it, and if you're on it, I would get off of it. I wouldn't stay on it. I would get off of it and find a better way to make your life work.
All right. Well, thank you. That's great advice, and I'm with you on that. What about you, Renee?
That was me.
Veronica.
I mean, sorry, Veronica.
You know what?
I know people confuse us all the time, Robert. Don't.
Renee, Ronnie. You know what? I only actually know one person who was on GLP-1, and like I said, she's like, "Oh, that's the best thing since sliced bread." I lost my weight, but then again, she was always trying to be in a race with me. I never wanted to do that, and if that's what she needed the way to go, I couldn't tell her not to be on it because I know that once you stop it, the weight is going to come back.
Come back on.
Yeah, I would just say I always thought it was for diabetics. If you don't need it, don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for everything. If you don't need it, don't do it.
Yeah. Not just, I mean, I look
But
at
people feel
Christina-
they need it. That's the challenge.
Yeah.
A
That's
lot
the
of
sad
people
part.
feel they need it. Yeah. And they've given up, it's like I quoted your cousin Donna, who's doing the challenge right now. And I really like her quote because in all of her questions, she's realizing that we have been programmed to think you got to give up everything.
Right.
And I love that because at the end of the day, that's my whole goal is let's get people to be informed in nutrition education. And then once you know how to eat, right, based on what's going to help you either lose the weight or sustain and optimize health, then if you're not missing out on anything, which you really don't, then it's a win-win.
Yeah.
It almost feels like a conspiracy sometimes. Like there's something behind all this that's putting us in a position where we don't get to optimize health.
Right.
Because then we feed the health insurance industry to include
and the prescription
drugs.
synthetic drugs and
Amen.
And everything else that goes with it. I mean, you've seen my bottle of pills. I was on 18 synthetic drugs and 4 insulin years ago and decided to stop the madness. But, that was a big, giant, over a quart of pills that I took every single month for years. And I'm healthier now than I was 20 years ago. And I'm 71 now. So, I mean, 20 years ago when I turned 50, I was in bad shape.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, you should think about, we should probably come up with like a skincare line for you because at 71, you don't look 71 based on what.
I'm so glad.
Yeah. That's great. All right, you guys. Well, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you guys.
We love you.
We have to do this again. Thank you very much. Ditto, ditto, ditto.
You'll be on our podcast this
That's
coming
right. I'll
Monday.
see you guys on Monday.
We'll see you Monday.
And I'll promote it. All right, you guys. Thank you, everybody, for listening. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, say something because it definitely helps. If you're catching the replay, I mentioned microwave. There's an article underneath that you can read about the microwave.
Awesome.
And I also have an article specifically about the topic of discussion. And if you came in late for some reason, rewind. You can watch it again and again and again and share with people. I felt that these two ladies helped bring some fun. They lightened it up. I think it would be something that you can share with people who are on GLP-1 drugs. And as Renee mentioned, she's got a friend or someone that she knows that next thing you know, you're on SSRIs and people aren't connecting those dots.
Nope.
So for sure.
All right. Until the next one. Peace out, everybody.
In a world of dice, there's a new way to see. No more counting calories, just living free. Robert Ferguson's got the plan you need. With diet-free life, it's the key. No more starving, getting rid of inflammation. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With the FM, teaching you food choices to see it through. DFL, we're teaching you to eat food right. Teaching you to pair food with each bite. Balancing our body's microbiome.